Let's go to Mark in Bethesda, Maryland. Hello, Mark.
Hey, I'm a pissed off Jew.
Good for you.
Yay!
There's a beginning of a conversation you just don't have very often.
But again, I'm not surprised that Obama nominated her, because what has she said in the past? She wants to piss off the Jews and piss off evangelical Christians because they support Israel, because Israel is, ruining their country.
Okay, hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. Mark, where do you remember her saying? Were those exact words that she wanted to piss off?
I did research on the internet, and she was in an interview. I think it was back from 2008.
Look this up, would you, Stu, real quick? Do you remember an exact line from her?
I can read a line from what research I did on the internet.
Okay.
If you want me to read it. It's in quotations. I know normally you don't like people to read.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Alienate the American Jewish community, and indeed all Americans, such as evangelical Christians, who support the state of Israel, because Israel leaders are destroying the lives of their own people. That is a quote that I just read off the internet.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't have a source on that anyway. I don't know if it's
let's look at that story, because if she said that, but you know what? That does fit on what the president has said. The president has said, what was it he said? The Jewish people just don't know what's good for them. Wasn't it the president? The Jewish people and Benjamin Netanyahu. No, it was Soros that said that. That's right. It was Soros that said that they just don't know what's good for them.
Obama said that, Glenn. I'm
having a hard time keeping Soros and the president
and Obama separate.
Yeah.
But also Samantha Power, and I know you know this because I think I learned it from you. I think she called a long time ago. She called for the invasion of Israel. And again, I can't imagine.
I mean, that is as blatant as it gets if you call for an invasion of Israel, and then to be appointed ambassador to the UN.
Jeffy remembers.
I don't think that's possible.
But this is consistent with what Obama does. As I told your screener, Obama does one thing on one side.
He does nominate radicals. There's no question about it. He does.
And he goes over to Israel, and I'm not a stupid Jew like most Jews I know around here. And he's going to go over to Israel, and
you sound very anti-Semitic. I don't know if you know that.
Well, to some extent, against liberal Jews, I'm an anti-Semitic Jew against stupid liberal Jews. I admit it. I admit it. They go and they say, "Oh, look what Obama did. He's giving all this money to Israel." He goes to Israel a month or two ago. He gives a speech at some liberal college where conservative were excluded. And in Hebrew, we say he's sachkan hamizuyaf, which means he's the phony actor, and he does a good job at it. And he's bamboozling Jews, and he's continuing to do this by nominating Samantha Power.
Wait, hang on just a second. Say that again.
What, the Hebrew?
Yeah.
Sachkan hamizuyaf.
Okay, all right.
The phony actor.
All right, because when you said that at first, I thought you said, because I was like, that's not Hebrew, that's English, because I thought you said he sucks.
Oh, no.
That's what you said. In Hebrew, we say he sucks.
Sachkan in Hebrew is an actor, and he's an actor.
Yeah, no, he is. He is definitely a performer.
Anyway, and I know I'm going to go to synagogue on this Saturday. And by the way, Charles Krauthammer's mother is a member of my synagogue. I'm going to go to synagogue, and my liberal rabbis will still stand up there and praise this blankety-blank president.
So why do you go to that? Why do you go to that synagogue?
There's no. That's what you have in this area. If you live inside, although there's synagogues outside the Beltway, those are what we have to deal with in this area. No other place to pray. And I am a good Jew, and I go every Saturday.
Good for you.
So anyway, that's all I had to say. And
Thanks a lot.
I learned about Samantha Power from you.
Well, that's. I'm sorry to piss you off. But I'm glad you're there.
You've made me incredibly angry, Glenn.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You made me one incredibly pissed off Jew.
I can't find. We'll do more research, and I just did a quick search, but I can't find statements like that from Samantha Power.
Now there is there's a story in the Blaze right now talking about Samantha Power that has a summary. Someone summarizing what she said and the word alienate the Jewish community. There is a quote around the word alienate. We have the video. We're going through it to see how exactly
in what context,
the context,
under what construct
she talks about arming Palestine.
Yeah, it says alienate
by whose conception.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to let me.
No, go ahead.
Alienate the American Jewish community and indeed all Americans, such as evangelical Christians who support the state of Israel because Israeli leaders are, quote, destroying the lives of their own people. The rest of that, though, is not in quotes. So I haven't listened to the video yet. We've talked so much about Samantha Power. I can't even remember. It's an old case. I can't remember what she said and what she didn't say. But you can go to the Blaze.com and watch the video.
She's one of those characters that we did an awful lot of research on at the time, and it was right at the end of our Fox time.
It was through the Libya. She was very involved in the Libya's process,
and it was right at the end of the Fox days. And I remember her being on one of the. Remember, we did an episode where we had like 12 chalkboards lined up. It was right towards the end, and we cleared out the studio and had like these 12 chalkboards, and she was on one of them. And we had done a lot of research on her, and then there were so many bad, nefarious people in this administration that you just kind of get lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there were so many. It was circles and circles and circles. These people all run together. And,
yeah, they do.
It's difficult.
And you remember when George Bush was in office and the media was like, tell us one mistake you made. Tell us one thing. Tell us one thing you didn't like. Tell us one thing you could do better. Tell us a mistake. Tell us a mistake. Tell us a mistake. Tell us a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Guys, he wouldn't say it. They hammered him.
They hammered him. Can I ask you a question? Have you heard them ask the president that?
Nope.
No, I haven't really.
Okay, tell me one mistake. Now listen to this. Can you tell me a mistake that he has made?
I can
be fair. No. Be a Democrat, not a progressive. Be a Democrat and be fair to a Democrat and tell me a mistake he's made.
I would say that he misspent the $1 trillion of the stimulus and it did not improve the economy.
Okay. Tell me on health care, as a Democrat, not as a conservative, as a Democrat and not as a progressive, does it look like he might be wrong on that one? Well, that it's not going to, I mean, the IRS is now saying the average family government insurance will be $20,000.
Yeah, as a Democrat, you'd say, I want larger health care because I want more people to have coverage and I want the cost to go down. And you would say that you did not get universal coverage out of this by any means. And the cost is not going down. So
right. So they can fix it any way they want by having more, but he was wrong on that. Would you say he was right on Egypt?
I mean, I don't see how.
Was he right on Benghazi?
No.
Was he right about Fast and Furious?
I mean, I would say no, but I don't know that Democrat would even know about that. They would say, "What, that movie with The Rock?" I don't know. I mean, he said it was good. It looked pretty good to me.
Was he right on? Was he right about the film in Benghazi?
No, definitely.
Was he right about Libya?
I mean, no. I certainly would say no on that, and I would think the Democrats would have been more angry at him at the time.
Yeah.
For that.
Right. Okay, so those are just a few things. Was he right about the IRS?
I mean, you might say he didn't know about it at this point still, but it certainly was not.
But if you find out about it,
even the president himself has said it was terrible.
Right,
blah,
right.
Blah, blah.
Okay,
so.
All right. So let's just go through this. You ask him, he'll never say that he did anything wrong. But nobody's going to ask him. But let's just see if by his actions we feel he's had any learning curve. He's learned a lesson on any of this at all. Benghazi, what did he do? He said he was going to fire 4 people. They didn't fire them. In fact, they've just been transferred. And as Rand Paul was telling us last hour, they called all 4 of them. They're still working at the State Department. Their secretaries answered the phone. They wouldn't take Rand Paul's phone call. So he didn't fire them. He just switched jobs. Susan Rice just got a promotion. She's with the NSA. Samantha Power, who got us into Libya, she's just got a promotion. She's now going to be our UN ambassador. The woman who was directly responsible for the Tea Party targeting. That was her deal. I mean, she was in charge of that particular office. What happened to her? She gets a promotion. She's going to now oversee 16,000 new IRS agents to do your health care insurance. Let's see. Did he fire or even speak harshly about Eric Holder?
No.
Never.
No.
Mm-mm.
He hasn't. He has given everyone a reward. So it's not like he is. He thinks he's made mistakes. It's not like, hey, I don't know if that was a mistake or not. We're just going to keep going and keep going. No. The people responsible for those things that you would think are bad, I think are horrible, he's promoted. He's given them raises, bonuses, or promotions, and in some cases, all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, and what's the explanation for that? You'd say, okay, well, maybe he thinks they're doing a great job. I don't think you're going to come to the conclusion that Susan Rice is doing a great job unless you're looking at her job as loyal. Is she loyally spouting the things I'm telling her to say?
This is the really important thing. You have to understand, we are in mob-style politics, okay? Mob-style politics. If you're in the mafia and somebody does exactly what you tell them to do and they keep their mouth shut, what do? You reward them. And you do not, if you have somebody, you keep your enemies closer. Let's say you're going to knock off, Timmy Two Teeth later, but Timmy Two Thief, he's done. Just keep him quiet. Just keep him.
Worst mob character of all time, Timmy Two Teeth.
You don't know how. You don't know how he lost the other teeth.
No,
you say it to his face.
The mob doesn't exist, so I
how
can't.
do you think he lost all those other teeth?
He'd be pissed at you right now, Stu, for laughing and mocking his name.
I want you to know.
Your knees would be broken already.
Yeah, really? I have nothing to do with it. I respect you. I pay my respects to you, Timmy.
Timmy, I don't even think you exist. That's how much I respect you. You or the mob. The mob doesn't even exist.
Why are you talking to them?
Right?
Why are you talking to them
there
right
is
now?
no mob. That's a conspiracy made up by the FBI.
By Stu Bregeer.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, if you've got Timmy and you're going to bump him off later, you bump him off after the heat is over. When nobody's looking, you take care of Timmy later. Right now, Timmy.
Have some spaghetti.
And Timmy comes in and you promote him and you keep your enemies closer. So there's one of two things. Either this White House is rewarding those people who took the charge and they knew that this was going to be exposed. They were following the idea of Cass Sunstein. Just label everybody conspiracy theorist, and then a couple of years will go by and nobody will really care about it anyway. And so they just keep going, and they did the good job there. Now let's just move them, and we'll move them to a better position because they've proven themselves loyal. Or these people are just Timmy Two Teeth, and they are just going to be bumped later. But right now, you take care of them, and you keep your enemies closer. You bring them in. You give them a little reward. Hey, who's got your back? Thanks for having our back. I think that's what's happening. Of course, that is nothing but theory.